Hey guys, welcome to DMK Wrestling. I'm John Andre and this is your recap for SummerSlam 2022. Let's talk about it. Our first match was for the Raw Men's Championship. It was Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. This was a great way to start the show this year. Now, the match itself was not as good as the WrestleMania encounter from April, but it was really enjoyable. And I liked how there were very subtle elements to this match. Like at one point, Bianca almost won by countout. That, of course, I think was a callback to when Bianca lost by countout to Carmella on an episode of Raw a couple of weeks ago because of Becky Lynch. And this match ended with a Spanish Fly followed by a KOD from Bianca, but it's what happened after the match that has everybody talking. Becky offered a handshake to Bianca, Bianca accepted, they hugged. So Becky is seemingly a face now. At this point, I'm kind of happy because the heel Becky thing just wasn't working when she came back and at some point. But as Bianca is celebrating, Bayley shows up for the first time in well over a year. Glad to see her back. The pop was amazing. And she did not come alone. She brought along Dakota Kai, who was released by WWE not too long ago. And not only that, but they were joined by IYO Shirai, and I was so excited because IYO Shirai, well, her name is now IYO SKY. A lot of us have wanted to see IYO Shirai or IYO SKY on the main roster, and this was the perfect moment. This actually happened. Trips is flexing his muscles on the creative side. You love to see it. These three men headed to the ring seemingly to go and attack Bianca until Becky Lynch came and stood by Bianca's side, evening the odds to some degree. The three men backed away, but I really want to see what happens. It does look like we have a stable on our hands. This is really good. Our next match was The Miz versus Logan Paul, and I will say this, Logan Paul is a natural in the ring, and it's not about him even working hard. We saw that at WrestleMania and everything, but Logan Paul is built to be a WWE superstar. Also, props to The Miz, because Miz has really made a career out of making people that are not necessarily very experienced in the ring. We saw that with Bad Bunny at last year's WrestleMania. I loved how Logan was able to hold his own, and there is a particular ability he has that I don't think most people might have noticed, but he has this very subtle ability to change direction while he is midair. It's actually very subtle, but it's really impressive. I noticed this when he did the moonsault to The Miz on the outside, and then when he executed that frog splash to The Miz on the announce table. That was very impressive, and this is only his second match. Maryse tried to interfere. She almost got hit by The Miz until Logan Paul got The Miz in his skull-crushing finale and won the match and got literally the whole arena chanting for him. Everyone wants Logan Paul to be a bad guy. I actually kind of dig him in this character, and if he can keep on like this, Logan Paul is going to be a huge star in WWE. I am really impressed. Whilst we are also on the subject of Logan Paul, please give him his old theme music back. I actually like it better than this other one. It sounds a little more like Apollo Crews' new theme, which is, you know, it's confusing. And then Max Dupree and the Maximum Male Models had a water commercial. That was... Then we had our third match for the United States Championship. It was Bobby Lashley defending against Theory. This match did not go beyond 5 minutes, and I actually think it was a good call they made. Before the match started, Theory dropped his briefcase right before posing on the turnbuckle. I thought that was funny. And when Bobby Lashley entered the ring and was going to do the last pyro pose, he was attacked by Theory. The ref tries to check on Bobby. Bobby says the match should start, and Theory kind of got some offense in. The match actually ended when Theory was going for a signature, but Bobby countered it into a power lift and transitioned that into a headlock, and Theory just tapped out very quickly. I loved how this match played out. Short, sweet, to the point, you move things along, and that's about it. Bobby Lashley is still your United States champion. I wonder what's going to go on with him from this point, but once again, I trust Triple H. We're in some good hands, people. And then we had the Mysterios going up against the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Now, this being a no disqualification tag team match, I did not understand why they had to tag each other in and out, but that was okay. It's tag team anyway. The rules can be a little muddy sometimes. This was a very enjoyable match, but I know you guys don't want to hear that, so let's talk about it. Edge came back. And this happened after Rhea Ripley caused a double trip for the Mysterios, and Finn Balor asked for a chair, but then lights went dark. You'd almost think it was Undertaker, but it wasn't. And then a remix version of the Brood theme started playing, and Edge just rose up. Spears to both Finn Balor and Damian Priest. He helped the Mysterios to win the match, and now I'm interested to see what goes on next. There's a very interesting character evolution for Edge. A lot of people did say the Rated R Superstar character was coming back. We know he really really was going to commit to the Judgment Day stuff full time until they wanted to put the supernatural elements. I'm really worried for the Judgment Day, but I think we'll be okay. Next up, we had Pat McAfee going up against Happy Corbin. And look, Pat McAfee and Logan Paul are pretty much in the same tier. This was good. This was really, really good. To start off, when Happy Corbin was making his way to the ring, there was this choir in the back that started singing Bum Ass Corbin and started singing Pat McAfee's new theme, which is like a slight ripoff of Seven Nation Army, but of course you can't license that song every single time. It's expensive. And once the match started, McAfee really tried to hold his own. He was trying to counter a few things, but Corbin being Corbin got the upper hand at some points. And the humidity in Nashville was very apparent because it was affecting some of Pat McAfee's moves. For example, the McAfee spot. Now the McAfee spot is when Pat usually does the backflip from the top rope, jumps back up to the top rope and delivers a superplex to his opponent. On this occasion, he kind of slipped a bit, which looked a little scary, but he was okay. And then when he was going for what Michael Cole called the Swanton Bombino, he practically lost his balance but was able to get it back and execute the move anyway. The match ended with some shenanigans. Corbin bumped into the ref Charles Robinson. Pat McAfee saw this as an opportunity to hit Corbin in the nuts, and then he was able to hit a version of the Panama Sunrise. It was weird humidity once again. And he got the 1-2-3. Now look, this performance was amazing. The only thing was Logan Paul kind of overshadowed this a bit, but this was still a really great match. I think we're also starting to get used to seeing Pat McAfee in the ring more often, but I really enjoyed it. Top tier show so far. Drew McIntyre then cut a promo concerning Clash of the Castle, also took a jab at Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar facing each other for the first time in Nashville in a last man standing match. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He even got the crowd to chant for a fan, and yes, they're called fans now, not WWE Universe. Change is really happening, guys. Our next match was the Street Profits taking on the Usos for the Unified WWE Tag Team Championships with Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee. Now look, should JJ have been the guest referee? No, it didn't really need him. If you wanted to raise the stakes for this match, you could have made it a ladder match. But as is custom with special guest referees, they are going to be somewhat lenient to whatever is going on in the match. JJ did make this apparent. 5 counts, he pull you away. Also, this was a really good match if you want to break apart the Street Profits, because it allowed both Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford to showcase their individual talents. Now I love them as a team, but if they were ever to have a solo run, each man for himself, well, it would be interesting. I wouldn't want to see the Profits broken up, but we have to explore possibilities sometimes. Also, let's not rule out the possibility that Montez Ford could become a heel, because he had this other level of aggression that we are not accustomed to seeing, like this one point where he blew up a Double J for not counting 3, when in fact he had delayed after hitting a frog splash and they had almost won the tag titles from the Usos. Double J even almost got hit by a super kick again from Jey Uso. This did not happen. The Usos were able to win the match with a 1D to Angelo Dawkins. They are still your Unified WWE Tag Team Champions, and my only question now is who is going to stop these men? I wonder, someone on Twitter actually pitched that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens should probably take the titles from them. There's no one left, as Roman Reigns would say. There really is no one left. We had a Kid Rock cameo that got blacked out, not because he was kissing his girlfriend, it was actually because he did a double middle finger. It was pretty funny. And then Riddle came out of the crowd and he called out Seth Rollins and said he wanted them to go. Now, in storyline, Riddle is supposed to be injured with a stinger. I don't remember what the medical term is. It's on the screen right now. But be that as it may, Seth Rollins came out. They had a bit of a brawl. He kind of aggravated the injury to Riddle in storyline. And yes, this was supposed to be a match on SummerSlam, but it has been moved to Clash of the Castle. Creative adjustments on Triple H's side. Good decision. I love that they did this angle on the show. It kept things fresh and kept things going. Moving on. Then we had Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan going at it for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This match did not go more than 5 minutes. You knew there were going to be shenanigans and we got them. Now we knew this because number one, Liv just got the title. You don't want to break her down immediately after getting it, so you have to find some way to let her keep the title. But the Ronda Rousey character also cannot lose clean. It's just a conundrum they have to work around. The match basically was Ronda trying to lock in the armbar and Liv constantly getting to the ropes. And in the ending of the match, Ronda had one of these arm bars. Liv was able to reverse into a pin attempt. She got the 1-2-3, but just before the 3 count, Liv herself tapped out and Ronda thought she had won because she felt the tap, but Corey Graves had spotted it on commentary. Michael Cole had not seen it. They came to a consensus. Yes, indeed, Liv Morgan had tapped out before the 3 count. And in some ways, I find that this borrowed from Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam 2015, when Undertaker actually tapped out after a pin attempt, and the timekeeper saw it, rang the bell. Charles Robinson was the referee. He's slowly becoming WWE's most incompetent referee. But after the match, Ronda Rousey attacked Liv Morgan, then attacked the referee, almost attacked a few more officials. I guess she's turning heel. Yes, especially since we are doing Becky and Ronda at WrestleMania next year. You need Ronda to be heel, you need Becky to be the face. It works. It just works. It kind of looks weird because Liv may look like a weak champion. That's my only concern here. Otherwise, it was very well done. I really enjoyed it, and we move on. Kane showed up to announce the attendance for SummerSlam. Let's not talk about that anymore. And then our main event, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Undisputed WWE Universal title on the line. This match had everything. I'm going to make this claim right now, and I doubt anyone would disagree with me. This is the best match of the 7 one-on-one matches they have had since 2015. Roman Reigns comes out, that's his acknowledge me shtick. Also, he's challenging Undertaker in entrance times because his entrance was around 6 minutes long. Then Brock Lesnar came out with a tractor because, of course, he is a farmer. It wouldn't make sense if he didn't come to a tractor with the ring. Wrestling can be dumb, but we love it anyway. After the ring announcement, Brock attacked Roman from the top of the tractor, and then the match slowed down as you would expect because Brock Lesnar suplex F5, suplex F5. That is the Brock Lesnar cheat code. That's the Brock Lesnar formula. But this match was as physical as it came. There were table spots, there were spots in the crowd. We had our first tractor spot where after an F5, Brock Lesnar dumped Roman Reigns in the front loader of the tractor, lowered him into the ring. People were saying that it was a little anticlimactic on Twitter. Little did we know what was coming. There was some more action, dominance from Brock Lesnar, and then there was tractor spot number 2, which is the craziest thing I've probably seen in my 15 years of being a wrestling fan. Because you see, when Brock had Roman for the 10 count at one point and Roman was getting up, Brock got into the tractor, he moves the ring a few feet forward or inches more, I can't tell if it's feet or inches, and then he proceeds to raise a part of the ring up. We have never seen this in all of professional wrestling. The most we've seen is the ring breaking. We have never seen this. Also, the fans on the raised part of the ring should be very upset because I don't think they saw anything. But then things got really chaotic because the Usos interfered. Brock laid waste to them. Paul Heyman got in the mix. He got F5, so he was dead. Condolences to Paul Heyman's family. Also, it kind of reminded me of Peter Griffin when he fell down from the stairs. It was, you can put them side by side and you wouldn't miss. And then Theory saw an opportunity to cash in his money in the bank. That did not happen. He got F5'd on his briefcase by Brock. Roman speared Brock. Then he took Theory's briefcase, twanged him on the back with this so many times, hit him with the title belt, hit him with everything he had about 3 times. He just kept getting up, and then finally they had to bury Brock under all these announce table parts. I can't even speak straight, but you get what I mean. They buried Brock Lesnar all under the rubble. Brock Lesnar couldn't get up for the 10 count. Roman Reigns is still your undisputed WWE Universal Champion. This match was very enjoyable, and if this is the true climax to their rivalry, what a way to go out. But I can't help but think that if Vince McMahon was still in charge of creative for WWE, he would book one more match between the two of them and it would be Hell in a Cell. Otherwise, I love how this match ended, although I would have preferred the Usos not getting into it because it makes Roman look a little weak in my opinion, but maybe that's just me. I enjoyed it either way. This was a great SummerSlam premium live event. WWE is in good hands with Triple H. I can't imagine the things that are going to happen. Everything from this point forward is it's very much unpredictable, and I'm excited. But that's it for me. I've been talking for about 40 minutes straight. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please do subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it. And yeah, I will see you with some more wrestling content in the coming days. My name is John Andrew. This is DMK Wrestling. It's been a pleasure. I will see you in another video. Take care.